Welcome to rSlash, Am I the Butthole, where OP sends his roommate to the hospital. Before I start today's video, I just want to do a quick shout out to my second channel where I do on-camera content, so check it out by clicking the link in the description. Am I the butthole for not sharing my dinner with my diabetic roommate and causing him to have a hypoglycemic episode? I'm a 23-year-old guy who has 3 roommates, Ty, Michael, and Simon. Simon has diabetes, and he's having a hard time managing it. Here's how the problem started. I'm the last to get home. I arrive at 8 when the guys are all home. Every time I try to order delivery, I'd ask the guys if they want to order as well. They say no at first, but once my food arrives, they gather around me in the living room and help themselves to my food. It irks me a lot since it keeps happening, and I'm too nice to tell them off. Days ago, I came home to Simon sitting on the couch, and the other guys were still out. Before I ordered food, I again asked if he wanted some, and he said no. This time, to avoid having to share my food, I decided to go eat in my room once the food arrived. I'm not gonna lie, I got some dirty looks from Simon, but I thought nothing of it. I went to bed at 11 p.m. And at around 2 a.m., I woke up to loud knocking on my door. I then opened the door to Ty yelling that Simon just had a hypoglycemic episode and that Michael drove him to the hospital after I refused to share my dinner with him earlier. From what I understand, Simon didn't eat for hours and was counting on eating dinner with me. But I took the food to my room and he didn't get any. Ty and I started arguing after he called me a selfish douche for hiding and withholding the food and letting Simon go through this knowing that he's diabetic and that he can't stay without food for long periods of time. He thanked God that they recognized his symptoms and took him to the hospital early. I said that I already asked if Simon wanted to order something and that he said no. Ty said that of course Simon was going to say that because he didn't have any money to buy food and he was hoping that I would share the food, but I hid it instead. I said that I wasn't obligated to pay for others' food, which set him off on me about how horrible my attitude was over a few dollars, but money is an issue for me. Simon hasn't talked to me, but Michael and Ty keep blaming me and said they no longer trust me around Simon. Moreover, Michael called Simon's parents. I had an argument with him because of this, and he said that I have no excuse for treating a diabetic like that. I've been getting a lot of bashing from them over this, and I've been feeling incredibly guilty thinking that I might have contributed to this in some way. OP, your roommates are really doing you dirty here. Like, how is it your responsibility to feed your roommates? And if your roommates are so concerned about Simon getting food when he needs it, then why don't they buy him food? Why is it only up to you to buy people food? And then just outside of that, there's the basic concept of poor planning on your part does not constitute an emergency on my part. You said that you're 23, and you didn't say what the other guy's age was, but I have to assume that Simon is also probably around 23. He's a grown-ass adult. He can buy himself a candy bar or like a bag of chips or whatever he needs to eat as a diabetic and just keep that stuff in his room. Like, if you're a diabetic, then one of your responsibilities as a diabetic is to make sure you have what you need so that you don't go into a hypoglycemic episode. And to make matters worse, this guy didn't even communicate the issue to you. He gave you dirty looks and then was like, oh, he didn't give me free food. Guess it's time to go off in my room and starve and have a hypoglycemic episode, I guess? Like, what is he thinking? If he's relying on the food and he didn't get the food, why would you just sit around hoping to get free French fries and instead just go to the kitchen and make yourself a sandwich or whatever? So, OP, even though this is completely 100% not your fault and that you get 0 out of 5 buttholes, I would still say that probably, based on this story, your relationship with your roommates is damaged beyond all repair. So, if I were you, I'd be looking for an exit strategy. I'm giving all of your roommates, including Simon, 2 out of 5 buttholes. Those guys are delusional. Am I the butthole for uninviting my cousin, brother, uncle, and dad to my wedding over a prank? I'm a 22-year-old woman, and I grew up in a family where men prank and tease each other. Ever since I got engaged to my fiancé, Tim, who's 23, my cousin, brother, dad, and uncle joked about running some tests to see what type of man Tim is. They've done stuff like forcing him to play chess 4 times in a row, or secretly slashing his tires to see if he would fix them himself like a man or get help like those lazy guys. They asked him questions like what joke he would like to tell his future mother-in-law, his opinions on abortion, Jesus, gender equality, etc. They also tested his fishing and hunting skills and overwhelmed him with hypothetical scenarios to test his decision-making abilities and mental strength. They keep calling him slow and soft, but he has asthma and they think he's making excuses. I demanded they stop, but my dad said that this is just typical stuff that men challenge each other with, and said that I was ruining the fun. Last week, they took Tim on a 3-day trip and they hid his inhaler. He left them, returned home after 7 hours, and told me about it. I was seething after they said that they admitted to hiding it as a challenge. I exploded on them when they returned. My cousin asked if little Timmy ran to me to tattle. I yelled that all 4 of them were uninvited to my wedding. My brother freaked out, saying that it was a prank and they were going to give it back. My dad said that they'll apologize if I insist, but Tim will have lost the little respect they'd gained for him. And in their eyes, he'll always be the soft college kid who's not up for the challenge. I called my dad and the others awful, and I left. My cousin is begging that we talk. My uncle has been quiet, but my dad is so mad, and now he's getting mom involved to get me to reconsider this decision. But I keep refusing to re-invite them. My mom is saying that I'm exaggerating, and I should let bygones be bygones and not let this ruin my relationship with my family. Am I the butthole for making this my hill to die on, or am I exaggerating? OP, your mom is saying not to let this ruin your relationship with your family, but your family is literally ruining your relationship with your fiance. Like, these aren't pranks, they're just bullying. When you prank someone, they're supposed to laugh too. When you bully someone, you're the only one laughing. Haha, you slashed my tires, so now I have to go buy new tires for like $300. Haha, so funny, father-in-law. Oh, what a clever joke. You hid my inhaler and now I'm literally dying. This is super fun. I get the joke. You're so clever and witty and smart. Can't people like literally die if they don't have their inhaler? I don't know. I don't have asthma. I don't know anyone with asthma. Can you die? Can you die without an inhaler if you have asthma? Asthma attack death. Asthma attacks can be fatal. A severe asthma attack can prevent you from getting enough oxygen to your lungs and even stop your breathing. Okay, cool. That's super neat. Hey, sweetie. So, we were hunting with your soft college kid, and we hid his life-saving medicine, and he died because he's just a little wussy who went to college, and that makes him weak. Sorry. Honestly, OP, your family is so incredibly toxic that I think you are the butthole for allowing your family to get away with this for so long. I get that it's your family doing this and not you doing this, but you're the gatekeeper between your fiancé and your family, so if you allow this bullying to go on, then yeah, you are the butthole. In any event, I'm giving your fiancé 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving the men in your family 4 out of 5 buttholes. And for you, OP, I think I'll give you like 0.5 out of 5 buttholes for letting this get to this point. But from here, if you like double down and say, no, you are absolutely not invited to my wedding unless you change this behavior and actually produce changed results, then okay, then yeah, I can give you 0 out of 5 buttholes. But if you just bend over and let your family continue to bully your fiance, then you get the same butthole score. Am I the butthole for serving my sister's husband dinner using toy utensils? I'm a 17-year-old guy, and I moved in with my sister after my parents kicked me out for coming out. They said I'll just be here temporarily until I get back to normal, which I don't think I will, lol. But anyways, so I moved in with my sister and her husband about a month ago. And FYI, my sister does everything around the house, as well as looking after my 2-year-old niece, and now she's 6 months pregnant. My brother-in-law does nothing because he's the breadwinner, as he claims. But in my opinion, he's taken it a bit too far. For example, he would tell her to start his laundry once he takes off his clothes, put dinner on the table once he's home, get the shower ready, and so on. They fight a lot because my sister is exhausted and burnt out. I usually put my headphones on and mind my own business, but 2 nights ago, there was a lot of commotion once he got home. So I went to see what the issue was. Turns out my brother-in-law was complaining about dinner and my sister was too exhausted to get up. I mean, dinner was already cooked, but he wanted my sister to put it on the table for him. I told my sister that I'd do it, but instead of using their kitchen utensils, I used my niece's toy utensils like her toy cup, toy plate, toy fork and knife, and a tiny napkin. I put the food on the toy plate and the drink in the toy cup while my brother-in-law was in the shower. He then came into the kitchen and sat down and stared at the plate for a few seconds. He then looked at me and asked what the hell this was and whether or not I was joking. I told him that if he wanted to act like a helpless child, then he might as well get treated like one. He began yelling and my sister came inside. He then threw the napkin and stormed off, saying that I disrespected him and that he'll let my parents know about what I did. My sister saw what I'd done and started laughing. I went to my room, but the argument didn't stop. Now, he's expecting an apology from me for meddling in his marriage and pulling this stunt on him. I could be the butthole for this, but I was just so mad for my sister, and I was also sick and tired of the nightly fighting over dinner. Okay, so on the one hand, yeah, the husband had it coming. Expecting your 6 months pregnant wife to wait on you hand and foot like some sort of maid is really pushing it, for real. And also, yeah, I can totally respect you wanting to stand up for your sister. In a way, it's kind of noble. But on the other hand, you're a guest in their home. You stuck your nose into their private marital business and you insulted the guy who's basically paying for you to stay there for free. So this feels kind of like an everyone sucks here situation. Everyone except for the wife, of course. So I think I'm going to give the husband 2.5 out of 5 buttholes, and I'm going to give OP 1.5 out of 5 buttholes. I mean, I'm trying to put myself in the sister's shoes here. I'm fighting with my husband, and, I bring in my brother to live with us for a short period of time, and I'm already I'm overworked, I'm tired because I'm pregnant, I'm fighting with my husband, and now my guest that I brought into the house is picking fights with my husband who's already in a grumpy mood. That would really suck for me, obviously, because I'm kind of responsible for my guest, and he's picking fights and causing more strife between me and my husband. So that's just not really fair to the sister. So I understand that OP is trying to stick up for his sister, but I almost wonder if he's just causing more stress for the sister than he intends to. So that's why I'm giving you a butthole score, OP. It's not that I really disagree with you necessarily, it's just, this is kind of a nuanced situation, and I think you gotta respect that this is not your home, it's not your family, and their marital problems are their marital problems. Am I the butthole for ordering delivery food when I only live a few blocks away from the restaurant? There's a local burger joint that my family and I love. It's about 10 blocks away from our house, and they do both delivery and pickup. I'm a full-time student and a stay-at-home mom to a toddler who's 1.5 years old, while my husband works full-time. I had a big exam and a couple of lab practicals due today, and I was too tired to cook dinner, so I decided to order a couple of burgers and fries from the local joint. It was already dark, cold, and I didn't really feel like trying to wrangle my kid into their snowsuit or the stroller to walk over there since we didn't have a car. So I ordered delivery on their website for an additional fee. This wasn't some delivery service like DoorDash or Uber Eats. The restaurant uses its own online platform and hires its own drivers to deliver food. I paid online and left a 20% tip. About 30 minutes later, I got a notification the delivery driver was at my building, so I went downstairs to pick my food up. When I got to the door, the delivery person was very rude and told me that next time I should get off my butt and pick up my own food, and that she doesn't get paid enough to deliver food less than 1 mile. I just grabbed my food, didn't say a word to her, and headed back towards the elevator. I heard a pound on the locked door as I walked away, and I turned around to see that she had hit the door with some snow and was flipping me off. I went upstairs kind of frazzled, and I ended up calling the restaurant to let them know what happened and to please reimburse me for my tip. The manager I talked to was horrified and apologized and ended up returning my tip. He also offered a 20% off coupon for a future visit. We love this burger shop, so this poor experience isn't going to stop us from eating their food. I'm just not going to get delivery from them again. Am I the butthole for ordering delivery from a restaurant a few blocks away? Is this some kind of unwritten rule of delivery that I just didn't know about? Yeah, not only is it not a rule, it doesn't even make sense why she would be upset. Theoretically, you want short, fast deliveries because that means more tips, right? Because if it takes you a minute to drive to the place and you get a 20% tip, and then you drive back and then you drive out another 1 minute to another place, you get another 20% tip, as opposed to driving out 30 minutes to get a 20% tip, obviously you're better off with the short routes, right? So I don't even understand why this woman was angry. Even if she was getting paid per mile driven, which I doubt, she would still make way more from the tip than from the mile compensation, right? Anyways, OP, you get 0 out of 5 buttholes. You did nothing wrong. Like, it doesn't matter if it's 1 mile away or 1 hour away. As long as you pay appropriately, then you're paying for the service. The driver gets 2 out of 5 buttholes. That was rSlash Butthole, and if you like this content, check out my new channel by clicking the link in the description. Also, check out my podcast, where I publish the exact same episodes.